It's a great pleasure to have you all here. And it's been really an amazing experience to be part of the organization of this meetup. Um, so for today, I will just make a brief welcome, bienvenidas, boas-vindas, bienvenue to everyone. We'll have the most excited part of this meetup, the panel with amazing panelists today. Then we will open the discussion for questions from the audience. And then we will just say goodbye and show you a few informations about the conference. And I would like to um, thank all the co-hosting chapters that that made this event possible. We have almost all the continents, and we are super biased to the to America and Latin America, but we are trying to do more than that. And we hope for useR to reach more people from other places. But I would like to thank very much the East Lansing chapter, Cuernavaca, Guayaquil, Vitória, Santa Rosa, Den Bosch, Tunis, and Bangalore for organizing this event with us. And we are not only places on the map, we have faces. Those are all the people who made this happen. And it's really an amazing group of people. I'm super honored to be part of this. And we'll have the chance to hear from some of these amazing people and their experiences within their chapters and in conferences. And some of us are new to our conferences as well. So, but we are super excited for everything. So just a remind for everyone that RLadies is a worldwide organization whose mission is to promote gender diversity in the art community. And we do that by developing chapters, local chapters and conferences and all sorts of activities to encourage everyone's development as individual and as our communities. Just a remind that the RLadies Code of Conduct applies to this space as well, and we are promoting diversity when we want to be inclusive, and we do not accept any harassment. So RLadies is a global organization. We have 206 chapters active at this moment, with thousands of members from 67 countries. And there's always new chapters launching, and this is super cool. And there's also several organizations, like we have now RLadies Asia and RLadies Africa, which are groups of chapters of RLadies that are doing a lot of cool stuff. So this is just a reminder that we are RLadies and we do a lot in our communities, but there's also other communities that are doing a lot, and we are also inviting everyone to participate and to just know the existence of those other amazing communities, such as Africa R, MIR, the minority. It's focused on minorities users of R, Latin R, which is focused on Latin America and Africa and the African continent. And those are super amazing, also amazing communities that are also partners from useR, the conference, and we are very excited to meet them there. And I think that some of people from MIR would be here. I don't know if others is here, but if you are, you are super welcome to be here. So we wanted to talk about the conference, useR conference from this year. And here we have a lot of people from the organization, headers here. Janani will talk about your experience. Janani, Andrea, Aditi. Well, you will hear from them. but we want to just share with you what we are thinking from the organization, because the idea, given that we have a totally remote conference, we want to make it global, and it's not just a way of speaking. We actually are working hard to be inclusive and to bring diversity to the conference. So the aim of useR is to build a high quality conference in a kind, inclusive, accessible, and safe environment for everyone. And we encouraging everyone to be there. And we know that it is not enough, but we really want to show you our marmots here. We have the official useR marmot, and we also have marmots, trans people marmots, diversity rainbow marmots, RLadies marmots, the MIR marmot, and the Africa marmots. So we want people to feel included in the conference, and obviously a scarf does not do that, but we are working hard, and we would love to hear your thoughts on that, on how to reach even more people. And the idea, diversity is in the conference as a principle. And also from the beginning, there was a lot of hard work to bring a really diverse diversity committee. And this is all due to a lot of people. But Andrea Sanchez-Tapia, the team lead, is making wonderful work with that, and of bringing together a lot of amazing people. So, and it's not only in the diversity committee, so we have diversity in all other committees as well, but I wanted to highlight this point here. And we have diversity, we want to have a diverse conference from the organization to the attendees. And this is also present in the program committee. We still have bias, obviously, but we are doing our best to include a group of diverse people, also analyzing as reviewers. So I won't say much more because we all want to hear from these amazing people. So we will have 5 minutes for each of our panelists. And then we will open for questions from the audience. You can either turn our mics on and speak your question, or you can write in the chat in the language that is most comfortable for you. We know that sometimes it's hard to, even if we are understanding, it's hard to write your question in another language. So you feel free to write in the way that you feel more comfortable, and we have people speaking different languages and will help us make this possible. So I would like to invite Jonelle Villar first. Jonelle, thank you very much for being here. It's a pleasure to meet you and to be here with you. So do you have a presentation, Jonelle, or?
No, I think I'll show you my wonderful cake.
Oh, that's all we need. Thank you, Jonelle.
Okay, so hello everyone, and thank you for the nice introduction and for the invitation. I'm speaking to you from the RLadies Bergen chapter in Western Norway. And the wonderful image behind me is actually a cake prepared for the 20th anniversary of the R Consortium, held February 2020 in Copenhagen, Denmark. 20 years ago, the R Consortium was organized under an open source model, which was an amazing initiative. Today, there are more than 2 million R users worldwide, representing a wide range of fields, as you will see during the July conference. It's exciting for me to be here tonight to represent diversity in the R community. 20 years ago, I imagined that this R Consortium cake would have been eaten by a homogeneous select group. At that time, the first women using R in their work had many stories to share of their different challenges. Their efforts, however, have opened doors for other women to enter. Today, the RStats community is moving in a promising direction that allows room for all voices. And I'd like to read a R Consortium statement from June 2018. An explicit goal of the R Consortium is to help create a welcoming space for everyone, no matter their race, ethnicity, gender identity and expression, socioeconomic status, nationality, citizenship, religion, sexual orientation, ability, or age. Diversity and inclusion are essential to foster true collaboration, move ideas forward, and create long-term sustainable community. So it's a clear message, but still, it takes dedicated action towards initiatives promoting inclusion. I come from a clinical background in psychiatry, traditionally not one you would associate with R. How did I go from direct patient contact to using R in the analysis of medication effects in genetic data? I was very concerned about my clinical role in handing out medications to patients and curious to understand the scientific literature. In order to understand research results, I tried to learn how the analyses were done. And I chose R because it was easily available and much easier to learn within the RStudio interface using the tidyverse. I was also motivated by the question, can I learn this and have some fun along the way? Oh yeah. I've been inspired by RLadies on many levels. This is a community where you needn't hold back if you think you don't know enough. Truly, RLadies welcomes you. I was so fortunate in the spring of 2013 to show up in a coffee shop in San Francisco and meet the founder, Gabriela de Quiros. It was her second RLadies meetup, and she welcomed 3 attendees with great warmth and encouragement. I believe her attitude of openness and generosity with her talents is the philosophy that has supercharged RLadies Global. Just last weekend, I attended an RLadies session where a medical doctor shared the R package he developed for a national healthcare registry. It was truly an example of using R for social good. And I could see that the R lady leading the session was deeply moved by his initiative. I think if we look around us, we could find projects that invite us to use our RStat skills at whatever level they may be, to contribute to the well-being of our virtual and local communities. My message for people attending the useR 2021 virtual conference: diversity is our superpower. I have no doubt that the next cake to be prepared for the next R Consortium anniversary will have plates and forks for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonelle. So next we have Haifa Ben Massoud from RLadies Tunis.
Thank you everyone. First, I want to thank you, and I'm very pleased and honored to be one of the panelists of this great meetup. I have a little presentation that I want to show, so I will start by sharing my screen. Okay. So a little introduction of myself. I'm an engineer in statistics and data analysis, and I work as data scientist. So as for now, I'm using R for about 9 years, and I want to promote R, and people always ask me, why do you use R, and for what reasons? So at first, I usually say that R for me is very easy to use, and there are many resources that are available to use R. And also, I think R have many packages that help people to solve any problem they can have in their life. And also, I recommend R because of the quality of plotting and graphing. So I'm a really fan of graphing and data visualization. I consider graphs as a piece of art, and I usually, when I have some free time, I do some graphism and plots. So I think R is a very useful tool for data visualization. And also, I think R connects many languages such as SPSS and SAS, and also Python now via Reticulate and RStudio. Then I will move to say how RLadies changed my life. My adventure with RLadies starts in May 2020, in the lockdown. So I find in LinkedIn that there are some chapters, and it comes to my mind why we don't start a chapter in Tunis, because I really know that many people in Tunisia are using R, but there is no active chapter in Tunis. So we start the adventure. And today I want to share with you some of the attitudes that I gained from RLadies. So the first picture is trust yourself, because working with RLadies Tunis teach me how to trust myself and how to have more confidence to talk in front of people, and how to talk in conferences, and how to attend conferences in worldwide. Also, my RLadies experience teach me how to work as a team. And also it teach me how to be open-minded and collaborate with people from all over the world. And it teach me how diversity really is. And finally, why I encourage people to attend useR 2021. The main reason is to learn. I think useR 2021 is a great opportunity to learn and grow, because we will meet people from all over the world that have a great experience using R, and who are there to teach people and share their experiences with them. Also, I think networking also is a good reason to attend useR 2021, because it's a virtual conferences, and we will meet people also from all over the world. Also, I think it's a great opportunity to grow, as when we learn new skills, I think you can also find a great job that maybe is well paid than the old one. That's also learned from my experience when I start using R. So I think when I start using R, many people from my generation are using SAS. So I was from a minority that use R, and it allows me also to have a well-paid opportunity in Tunisia. So I think it's a great opportunity for all of us to attend useR 2020 and learn from people and also share knowledge. That's all for me, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Haifa. It's great to hear from you.
Thank you.
So our next panelist is Aditi Upadhyaya from RLadies Bangalore.
So yeah, hi everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me and having me. It's such a big honor and it's like a fangirl moment. I can see all amazing people right here in front of me, and who have done amazing work in all our community. So I am Aditi, and I'm a geospatial data analyst at RLadies in Bangalore. And I started my R journey way back in 2017, where I was just using it to fasten a process. I didn't want to do the same thing again and again. So programming languages always have this upper hand of automation. So I just used R because one of my colleagues sitting right beside me would keep telling me, it's R, Python, or all the confusion he resolved, and he said that just use R, it's going to be super easy. And then I just stuck onto it till I came to my workplace. And then because my workplace also uses R predominantly. And one day, I think my colleague mentioned, why don't you join Twitter? And then see, there is something called RLadies, there's something called RLadies, and all these amazing stuff. And they put a lot of things online. You need not even search Stack Overflow. Just go through their tweets and you'll find something new. So I joined Twitter only for RLadies. And I think every day I would just see what is the new tweet, look at the new trend in R, and then implement it back in office, and all of us would be happy. And also, then I started understanding that it's a whole community which helps in growing, which helps you to grow as well. So I saw these meetups happening regularly in different chapters, and the first meetup I attended was in lockdown. 2018, bam, you come to 2020, and that's when I attended my first meetup because the time zone issue. So I attended Doris Scott's Making Your Own Website meetup, and then in 2 hours, I had my website set up. And I was like, oh my God, if just 2 hours could help me do my own website, if I do this every month, it would be so amazing. And so in August, we just thought, a few friends and I were like, you know what, let's start it in a time-friendly zone. We know there are a lot of people using R in India and in nearby South Asian countries. We can definitely get help and all these things. So we thought this, and everything from the beginning to the end, to the setting up the chapter. I know how much I troubled Janani as well when setting up the chapter to, having the mail ID set up, or even mentoring of how to actually conduct the whole meetups and all. Everything, the backbone was RLadies. And that's how we started the Bangalore chapter. And so now it's working smoothly, and we have people who never understood the concept of meetups coming and attending our meetings. And though our number, we just started, so the number is very low. But you won't believe, we have all the amazing speakers who have come there and spoken. We had Alison Horst, we had Milz, and then we had Janani recently. And then we have Meenakshi Kushwaha, who's going to be a keynote speaker for useR. And again, it's only happens with RLadies and the community which is built around R. I always felt in our workplace, like where I work, that should we go back to any other language or any other software, but every time we come back to R because of the community. I think I chose R and I stick with R because of the community. It's not because it's easy, or it's not because it has great packages. No, it's only because of the community, because I know if I don't know anything, I have people to have, like, they have my back. So it's going to be sorted out anyways, so I need not worry. So yeah, we feel very privileged. RLadies Bangalore feels very privileged to have the support of everybody, and all the sister RLadies chapters as well are so helpful. I see Heidi here, and she attends all our meetups, and it's such a big encouragement that people from all over are attending. And then yeah, that is a very fantastic experience. So yeah, I think I've spoken enough about RLadies Bangalore. Now coming back to useR and how I got into this. Again, thanks to Janina. She said that she wanted some volunteers, and I always wanted to attend useR, but I could never because it has in person. But then it was a dream. Like I have to attend one day. One day I have to be at useR and talk to people. And then during lockdown, I get this message, and I'm like over enthusiastic, and I just jump into it. And thank you so much, Arina. You don't know how important this has become for right now to me. And it's like there is so much of thought process gone into it to make it available to everybody in all time zones, and so much of effort to also bring out the best information that we could get. And I'm happy that I don't have to travel somewhere to get all the information or to connect to everybody whom I want to meet in person. But useR has become so friendly in terms of time zone and meeting people, and we can definitely have a huge blast, and all of us can make new art friends. I'm just waiting to attend my first useR, and also this will be my first volunteering experience at such a big conference. So it's going to be my time, my art time, and I've just set aside that whole week. Like our whole office is going to be shut down because all of us are art fans, and it's going to be like useR and RLadies time for all of us. Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me, and we hope to see everybody there. And yeah, I want to talk to most of you all, so I will just jump in and have a conversation with you if possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Gigi. We are waiting for that conversation. And next is Zulemma Bazurto Blacio from Guayaquil, Ecuador. Zulemma, you are...
Okay, buenas tardes a todas. Gracias por estar acá unidas. Y bueno, como mencionó Sara, mi nombre es Zulemma Bazurto Blacio. Yo actualmente soy profesora de estadística en la universidad y soy la coorganizadora de RLadies Guayaquil. Ya llevo en la comunidad de R 3 años, básicamente, desde que se aperturó el capítulo acá en Guayaquil en 2018. Y lo primero que debo destacar es que la experiencia de RLadies para nuestros capítulos en Ecuador, que es el país de donde soy, y me atrevería a decir a nivel de América Latina, si yo lo comparo con un ejemplo, ha sido como la filosofía que hay detrás del algoritmo de entrenamiento de cuerpo de una persona que quiere ganar músculo. Es decir, que quiere que sus músculos sean grandes. Para que se pueda hacer crecer la masa muscular en el cuerpo, primero hay que crear masa muscular mediante un conjunto de estímulos de diferentes orientaciones para asegurar que ese efecto que se obtenga sea acumulativo. Entonces, si análogamente eso lo contextualizo acá, RLadies es el ejemplo de un músculo en crecimiento donde la masa muscular son sus capítulos a lo largo de todo el mundo. Y lo que ha llevado a que el músculo crezca han sido las buenas prácticas aprendidas durante todo el tiempo de las comunidades inclusivas y diversas mediante la participación, colaboración activa con otras comunidades de R que lideran conferencias como la Art School Conference y el propio useR. Y así también la consolidación, por ejemplo, de las conferencias regionales como la Conferencia Latinoamericana de R, de Latin Art. Yo en septiembre de 2019 tuve la oportunidad de asistir a Latin Art por primera vez, y en una de esas reuniones informales de camaradería con RLadies de Latinoamérica, que era la primera vez que las conocí en persona, surgió la idea de aperturar acá en Ecuador un capítulo de RLadies en las famosas Islas Galápagos. Y eso que parecía lejano se hizo realidad el mismo diciembre del 2019, cuando conocí a la actual organizadora del capítulo en el archipiélago, Denise. Ella era una de las científicas de la Fundación Charles Darwin, y más allá de lo que yo pude haberle explicado acerca de lo que es la comunidad de RLadies, ella tuvo la oportunidad de poder estar en uno de los meetups de RLadies Guayaquil y ver de cerca cómo es el desarrollo de estos hermosos espacios de apoyo mutuo que realizamos con tanto gusto para las demás personas. Así se abrió en la isla Santa Cruz, en el archipiélago, el único capítulo que existe allá, y hace justo un par de días terminamos entre RLadies Galápagos y RLadies Guayaquil, terminamos de dictar el segundo módulo de programación en R para la comunidad galapagueña. Ha sido nuestro compromiso el dictarlo por tratar de romper la barrera de acceso a tecnologías que hay para dicha comunidad. Ahora bien, a nivel personal, y esta es la primera vez que lo voy a contar abiertamente a la audiencia, voy a compartir pantalla rápidamente de la carta propósito que yo escribí para postular a mi programa de posgrado en estadística. Esta carta está fechada al 2013, está dirigida al jefe de posgrados de la Universidad de Chile, donde postulé, y en una de las partes de la carta yo le comentaba al director que una de las cosas que me interesaban a mí era llevar a cabo la liberalización de conocimiento, y eso a mí me resultaba viable transmitirlo de manera gratuita a través de células de difusión de aprendizaje, que no solamente en esos espacios se pueda predicar la enseñanza, sino que se pueda desestigmatizar el aprendizaje a través de un acercamiento natural sin temores. Yo realmente nunca me imaginé que sería a través de RLadies lo que yo concebía como un propósito de vida desde mis años de estudio de posgrado se podría volver realidad después de 5 años con esta comunidad. Porque pese a tener el propósito, no tenía la capacidad de aterrizar ni de implementar el propósito. Pero fue la comunidad, al conocerla, la que me abrió las puertas, me dio sus lazos de apoyo, me brindó su hoja de ruta y con eso me permitió cristalizar un anhelo personal de visión colectiva que afortunadamente puedo compartir actualmente con otras personas. Si tal vez fuéramos al tema del useR 2021 y se encontrara alguien identificada con mi historia, una historia que está por detrás llena de tener mucho miedo por no saber cómo estar en una comunidad o qué es estar en una conferencia, específicamente la comunidad de R, yo les podría dejar la enseñanza que a mí RLadies me dejó. Y es que con RLadies yo aprendí a darle el sentido correcto al admitir no saber algo. Y ese sentido de admitir de no saber algo dejó de representar un signo de debilidad, sino que al contrario, representa actualmente un signo de querer aprender. Así que por eso la invitación abierta a que estén en estas conferencias y gracias por la invitación y compartir conmigo esta pequeña historia.
Muchas gracias, Zulemma. Thank you very much. And thank you, Andrea, for the translation on time. That was amazing too. Next, I would like to invite Beatriz Milz from RLadies São Paulo to talk. Yeah.
Hi everyone. Can I present my screen?
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. Are you seeing my screen? So,
Yes.
hi.
Yes.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Beatriz. I'm part of the communications team at useR 2021. And I think my presentation is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to talk about my experience at useR 2019. Before I enter that topic, I am a co-organizer of the São Paulo chapter of the RLadies São Paulo chapter in Brazil. So I speak Portuguese. If I speak too fast or something that is not clear, please let me know so I can repeat or anyone can help me find a better way. The first part is some of the slides are about stuff that happened in the conference and that was very special to me. And before I start, it's important to say that I got the opportunity to go to this conference because of a diversity scholarship. Otherwise, I couldn't afford to go. And this experience of going to useR is I can say that in Portuguese we call divisor de águas. It's something that happens in your history that separates like before and after. My history of programming in R and participating in our community changed because I participated at this event. It was like life-changing experience in my R path. So the first thing is we got to learn a lot. I participated in tutorials and watched a lot of talks, a lot of talks. And I also participated at the Thai Diverse Developer Day. In the Thai Diverse Developer Day, I went there and I didn't know what a package looked like. I have never seen a raw code of a package before. I only like installed and used the package. And I sat there and a lot of people helped. And I made a pull request to the deployer and it was closed because another person was already working on it. And I sat with this person, Colin, and he explained me a lot, like was a huge knowledge in one day because we got to talk about a package, to talk about unit testing. I have never heard about testing. And we worked together and made a pull request that was accepted. And that was like awesome for me. I went to, I don't know what a package looks like, to I feel like I contributed somehow to a package. That was awesome. Another thing is I made a lot of friends. Most of these people I already knew, like from far, I knew from the community. But when we got there, we found the other Brazilians and we made a huge friendship. And now they're like really in my heart. Another thing is I got to share. I made a presentation, a lightning talk about the experience of the RLadies in São Paulo. And that was like awesome to be able to talk to a huge crowd about what we're doing. And this I think was one of the most awesome thing is I got the opportunity to connect with people from Latin America, from the R community in Latin America. And that everything started in this talk is from Laura. And if I will send the link of the presentation after, and you can watch Laura's presentation is on YouTube. And she made a presentation about the R community in Latin America, and Brazil was not there. And I went to talk to her, hey, we're not there, because I didn't know also people from other countries. So from there started my connection with other RLadies organizers in Latin America and people in other events. And these are some of the outcomes, some of the consequences of this talk. The first thing I started studying Spanish because Brazil speaks Portuguese and like the whole other countries in Latin America speak Spanish. So if I want to connect with them, I need to learn their language. So now I speak Portuñol. It's a Spanish mixtured with Portuguese. The next thing is that I got to go to Latin R, and I'm now an organizer also. Since 2019, and this is really, really kind to me. I really enjoy participating in Latin R. And last year, I really tried to bring more Brazilian people to the event to connect. Also, we had a tutorial that Sarah and Andrea taught, and other two in Portuguese. And we also developed a package, and some of the people are here. And Riva, which is a really important person from the Latin American community, talked to me and said, oh, do you want to help? Do you want to be helped to develop a package? And I found other people that wanted, all these people said, I want to help. So this package we developed with translations of data sets to Portuguese, and we used to give classes in RLadies. We use a lot to write blog posts. So we have a lot of data sets, including the penguins data sets in Portuguese. And that was really awesome for me, because before that, I have never participated like in the development of a package. Like I'm part of the team of a package, and that was really special for me also. We also heard about Saturdays in that event and brought to Brazil. So we got to do a conference, a Saturday conference in 2019, a couple of months after useR. And this is all of the people that helped. And there are a lot of our ladies participating in this organization. It was a really great event. And I think is that it, that I tried to bring like the most awesome things for me about useR and the outcomes. And this is it. Thank you for inviting me. And I think, I hope that useR can be life-changing experience for you all too. And I'm part of the communications team, and I want to help building an event that can be awesome for everyone. Gracias.
Muito obrigada, Bea. Gracias. Thank you.
De nada.
It was amazing to hear from you too. Our next panelist is Jocelyn Chavez from Cuernavaca, Mexico. Mexico, sorry.
Yes, it's okay. Thank you, Sarah. I will share my screen. I think it's showing up, right? Okay, so thank you very much for the invitation. I am Jocelyn Chavez from the RLadies Cuernavaca chapter from Mexico. The first time that I heard about RLadies was in 2018, while I was in a art course in my city. One co-founder of the RLadies chapter from Mexico City was talking about RLadies and RLadies Global. But I didn't knew a lot about the meetups and about the huge community around the world. So when I had the opportunity to go to the Bioconductor conference in 2019, there was the inflection point when I had the opportunity to meet a lot of the co-founders or participants from other chapters around the world. So we took this beautiful picture with diverse participants and some people that gave talks in the conference. And it was really important to me to see this great group of women supporting each other in the conference. Having the opportunity to meet them really changed my life, I could say. So when I came back to Mexico after the conference, I really was excited about creating a chapter in my city. So together with Veronica and Leticia from the same institute where I am doing my PhD, we created the local chapter at Cuernavaca. And then when I had the opportunity to attend the Art Studio conference last year, we had a meetup of RLadies San Francisco within the conference. And I was really happy to see how many representatives of the chapters from Latin America was in the conference. So I had the opportunity to meet some of the women that are here today. I was really happy to see how the Latin American chapters was growing up. And having this experience gave me the idea to create a local meetup that was reuniting the chapters in Mexico. So last year, we had the first virtual meeting of all the chapters in Mexico, that by now we are 10 chapters in the country. So we are really happy to see each other, to contact, to meet all the chapters involved in the country. And we hope to keep this meeting as an annual event. And then I received the invitation from Laura to participate in the organizing committee to the conference of useR. This is my first useR conference, and being part of the organizing committee means a lot to me. And I am part of the diversity team, and in particular of the accessibility team. So we are preparing to have as much as accessible conference we could. So we prepared some guidelines and even a blog post to show how the accessibility and the diversity will be considered in this conference. So I really hope that all of you feel encouraged to join this conference, and I hope that as RLadies we could have a new beautiful picture to add to my albums. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jocelyn, and thank you for including something about accessibility. The work that you have been doing is so great, and it was great to hear. And last but not least, we have Janani Javi from East Lansing chapter. Go ahead, Janani.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you, and it's wonderful to be here amidst such amazing RLadies. And thank you, Sarah, for putting together this group. First and foremost, I think this is an amazing idea. I think a pre-conference meetup is a great way to bring diversity and all that we are hoping to achieve, especially for virtual conference of this scale. Thank you. I mean, the stories that we have heard today from all the RLadies from across the world are super inspiring. I mean, RLadies continue to inspire me every day. I started using R, like how most people started using R, by making some plots and then getting hooked, and I never looked back since. This was about 5 years ago. But only after moving to Michigan, again, like Aditi mentioned, thanks to Twitter, did I realize that there is this amazing resource and this amazing RLadies community out there that I wasn't even aware of, simply because I wasn't using Twitter enough. So once I came here, I started looking for chapters that I could join, communities that I could engage with, but realized that there wasn't any. And that's when I started the first Michigan chapter here in the United States. It's been so much fun, and that's just an understatement. I've learned so much. The chapter has grown to more than 500 people in under 3 years. And the university has recognized our effort in including and bringing diversity to our programming and data science. And we have seen so many people walk up to me, weirdly enough, even in restrooms of restaurants that we go to, saying, "Oh my God, the RLadies meetups are amazing." I was like, okay, I'm so glad. So that's the kind of impact that RLadies seem to have wherever we go. So it is great to be here. And actually, this is not going to be just my first useR conference, but my first R conference. I've actually attended no such global conference before, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Much thanks to Shani and Heather for bringing me on board. It's been such a learning experience, and it's been great working with all of you. So let me tell you a little bit about the conference. I'm very glad that Sarah and most others have covered most of the stuff already. So this is actually a massive team that is bringing useR to you. It's not just the few faces that you see here. And I actually play a minuscule part in bringing this to you. So we have a huge global coordination team. We have at least 3 members here from there. Heather, Shani, Andrea, Bia, all the people that I see here are actively involved in useR. And then this year, in addition to bringing the global conference and making it virtual, there's a huge focus on accessibility. So as she just mentioned, the thing is, we are thinking about diversity this time in several different ways. useR is going to be in at least 3 different languages. It's going to be time zone friendly so that you can attend the different tutorials and the events that you want to attend. It's and it's there's one more point that I forget now, but okay. So basically, we would like to invite all of you to register, and I'll tell you a little bit about the registration structure soon too. And most of you might have heard of useR thanks to our amazing communication team. And we are very active on Twitter. So if you want to know anything about useR leading up to the event in July, please do follow us on Twitter. This is the cream of the cream. This is the huge team that's making this possible for you. We have a really supportive technology team, finance team. We have tons of people who have brought in great sponsors to make this possible and to all of these waivers and bringing the accessibility. And the diversity team is working super hard to make sure that all of you can attend and feel included. We've also had the pleasure of having at least 50 people who have very graciously and magnanimously volunteered their time to review our abstracts, to bring you high quality tutorials and talks this useR. So I would also like to thank the RLadies and rest of the R community to make this possible by volunteering their time. This is the super fun team that I work with at close quarters. So a special shout out to everyone here on the call and also off the call. Without them, actually, I wouldn't know head or tail of how to run a conference, let alone such a global useR conference. So thank you so much. So this is a brief snapshot of the registration structure. We want to make sure that all of you have the opportunity to register and attend. I will throw in all of these links in the Google document as well so that you can access it. You can find all of our slides plus the links to register and learn more about useR. One quick note is that if anybody is from a low-income country, the fee is automatically waived, but it's not to say that if you do not have funding support, or if you would require any monetary support or any other kind of support, and if you really want to use, join useR, but you're not able to, all you need to do is drop us an email and we will make sure that you are included in the conference. So please reach out to us. Do not hesitate. We want to have you all aboard. And one more note that Heather had mentioned is because of the new accessibility guidelines in place, if any of you know of members who are active R users, but are visually or hearing impaired or have any other kind of disability, but they would like to attend the conference, we want to make sure that the conference is also friendly and accessible to them. So please let us know how we can make it better for you. And that's why we are here. So with that, I would like to go back to Sarah, and we are happy to take any questions from the audience. Thank you so much to the useR community. Thank you so much to the brilliant RLadies community to keep inspiring us every single day. And thank you, Sarah, again, for putting this together.
Thank you so much, Janani. Wow, I think that now we are open for questions from the audience. So you can, I don't know if you are allowed to unmute yourselves. Does anyone wants to start with a question? No, if not, I can Jenny, someone?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah, well, first it was I wanted to say a comment. Thanks to everyone who spoke today, because I thought it was really inspiring, and also something I wanted to mention. I see maybe I'm just putting myself throwing my experience there, but something that for me has been really important about RLadies is I am an expat. I am Mexican. I live in the Netherlands. And for the past 7 years, I have felt out of place. And coming to a community like that, so the first time I joined a meetup, and there were actually quite a bit of expats. And it was for me life-changing. So I loved learning how to program or how to do data viz or whatever. And I loved feeling that, it was a community where I belonged. And I actually, to start like meeting Latin American people through RLadies was like, for me, life-changing. So I really, really like it. That was it. But something that I wanted to ask is, for instance, like with the big conferences or something, I always feel a bit nervous. You already hear my voice, maybe that is shaking, because I'm nervous in general about talking in public. So in my meetups with my tiny chapter, it's quite easy. But how do you overcome that fear to, like the ones that have presented, or for instance, Beatriz talked about, like, she's like really the communication like committee. So I guess she really gets exposed to this. And how do you overcome that, like that fear and imposter syndrome that, it's a bit too much. And then in such a big conference, I feel even more scared.
Well, I will leave it open for the panelists who wants to start.
Can I start?
Yes.
This is actually something that I talked about in Slack today. I think is one of the most special thing about RLadies for me, is that I was a person that I did not like to speak publicly. I think mostly because in the university, I saw some situations where people said something, made the presentation, and the teacher made a comment that made the people feel bad. So I was always like afraid to present. I got really anxious. That was like a torture for me. And I didn't like to ask questions. I had the questions and I did not wanted to ask because I thought people would think that I'm dumb or something. Like they would judge me, and I didn't like to ask questions at the university. But when I went to RLadies, I felt a space where I could ask questions. And after some time, they said, oh, you make these presentations with this packet sharing gun. Do you want to speak to teach us how to make them? And I was like, wow, how is that going to be? And it was awesome because I went there and no one was judging me. There was just like people wanted to learn, and that was really great for me. That was in 2018, and after that I felt that was really good to teach in an RLadies space to present. And when they said, and sometimes I said I can help in that, so I was presenting a lot of times. And when I had to present at the university, I felt much more empowered to do it. I think I was not like more so afraid of what people would think, and I was more confident because of this space that we have, that we can have someone has my back. If I say something that someone asked me and I don't know, I just said I don't know, and it's okay. I don't know. And in useR, I was there, and there was a lot of people that reflected that no one was judging me. A lot of people that I knew was sharing for me, and that was special. I don't know. I think this is one of the greatest thing in my my growth, my personal growth, because now I can speak without like I'm going to have an anxiety attack or something. But I don't know if it was clear and was your answer, but I think other people can complete with their experience.
I would just like to say, like, as I have not spoken at a chapter yet, but just the confidence after I started interacting with our ladies and just doing the small introduction part of introducing a speaker has given me so much of confidence, so much of confidence. I think that it's again, I would just go back to the community that's what helped me. And I have never presented, but then the introduction that I used to do for the speakers who used to come, that actually helped me. Right now I'm teaching a proper R course to a set of students in one of the universities, and that is the only thing that I'm taking forward from the community. And again, yeah. So I agree with what she said, that it's it's a safe space, and you can talk. And then people will just support you all the way.
I just have one quick point to add in addition to what I said over chat, which is when there are members in our group that are really afraid of speaking in public, what we try to do is basically to make sure that they're not the only ones who are speaking. So we try to host events where there are 3 or 4 speakers. So each person only has to be up there for 10 to 15 minutes max. So we try to lower the inhibition. So they are not thinking about, oh my God, I have to talk for 1 hour and engage the audience, but they're going up there as a team. So that also kind of lowers the barrier. And one more thing that we do is we try to mentor our speakers and members of the group. So about 2 weeks before the meetup, we meet with them, help them go over the content, the structure, the outline, whatever it is that they need help with, or if they just want to bounce off ideas, they do it with other members, so that by the time they actually go to present, they're confident that the content is there, the flow is there. All they need to do is just practice for the 10 or 15 minutes. And even that, they have backup because there are other people out there who are helping. So that is one tip that I have.
Thank you. Does anyone want to add something else? I think that we are all, I speak for myself, but I'm shaking. So I think that we do not overcome, but practice is something that helps a lot, and practice with people that you are confident with. And we can grow as a community. I'll ask something that does anyone else have a question? Because we have an awkward silence and we do not want that.
There is a question in the Google Doc. Omar asking, what is the meaning of the marmot? The marmot, la marmota es de useR, no de RLadies. Omar is asking in Spanish. So if someone wants to tell.
Janani, Shani, Andrea, anyone who can.
The marmot was a kind of a symbol for the fact that initially the team was based in Zurich and it was going to be a European conference. Maybe someone who was there at the beginning can correct me, but as far as it was the team went around the world to make it a global, and many people were reached out to become part of the team. But the idea was to have an animal that had a wide distribution, but still a temperate origin, just to symbolize this fact. But I don't know the biogeographic details of the life ecology of the marmot enough so that we can say that as. But it was a kind of symbolizing the moment where the Zurich team became a global team. as like more or less. I think we may have a blog post about this. Oh, somebody. Oh, thank you. Perfect. Yeah, Janani put it in the post in the blog. There was another question on the chat. There was another question in the chat. Maybe why Duncan Sanderson was asking. Do you want us to? It's
so. Wei is asking, I've attended some seminars just to learn some topics. I think what will help a lot is to present something. Is our meetup would allow us to do a presentation? How would you set up the talk? So Wei, first it depends on where you're from. If you have a local chapter, that's probably the best place for you to start, especially once in-person events convene again. But in the meantime, we would probably encourage you to join the RLadies community and the RLadies remote Slacks. And that's a great way for you to meet not just other R users, but also other R organizers. And if you're interested in presenting on a particular topic, you can specify what your interests are. And based on your time zone, you can probably reach out to specific chapters, or they can reach out to you saying, hey, that's a topic we were looking for. Why don't you come here and give us a talk? Usually the organizers are very supportive and they're always looking for speakers. So I think that would be perfect. Yes, so they're throwing in the links. You can. Heather also takes care of the RLadies remote Slack. So if there are no chapters in your vicinity, then that would be a great Slack space to join.
And also, I don't know, does anyone wants to add something? I think that also participating in the Slack is another thing to learn, because it's for me, it's easier to communicate in person, but learning how to communicate and how to share things in a huge Slack with people from all over the world is also a great experience. So we invite everyone who is not already in the Slack to join, because it's super fun. And to learn how to answer questions or ask questions or answer something that you know the answer for.
I would like to add a little bit something. Janina said something about it, and Alejandra was talking about her experience as an expat. And of course, many of us are working on our local chapters, but one of the things that I have found the most amazing is the inter-chapter experience, like having people who come from your chapter, you go and participate in another people's chapter, and you do get to know each other, and people sometimes try to dismiss the virtual spaces as fake living experiences, and my experience has been the contrary. Like living in the internet, of course, it's not as good as meeting in person, but it also gives you the opportunity to go beyond what you would normally reach. And so the inter-chapter experience has been very nice, and kudos, and I would like to make a shout out to the Latin American community, because it seems as a bias. We say, there's a bias to Latin America, but what they have been doing, the chapters in Chile, in Argentina, and in Uruguay, and what they have been doing by building Latin art goes beyond Latin art and goes beyond, and many of us are connected a little bit through that work of connecting several different communities. And I would like to point to the other communities. Even the links go beyond RLadies. They go to African R users, they go to MIR, and many of them have been working in those links. And this has been bringing the magic of the local chapter and the interaction to other communities. So this, what we want to build, is something that lasts, and what lasts is a little bit that it's the community and the link that you have, not only with your chapter, other chapters and your community, RLadies, but also what's the next step, and the next step is going to be like having like a meta community, like people who know each other from other communities, and this is gold. As the local chapter experience has been transforming, that further level that having virtual venues can bring us is just gold. Like that is one thing that we want to recognize, that it hasn't been only like the Latin American RLadies working for themselves. It has been like trying to bring everybody together, and now it's us who are going to try to do the same, like for the rest of the world. So it has been very nice to see happen.
There's a question here from Nayeli Sanchez, and she's saying that she's very, very beginner, and she's asking if she can participate as an attendant in the useR conference. The answer is yes, but I think that our panelists can say something more than that. Then sure, let's go.
I'd like to point only that, of course, yes, but also useR has a tradition of having newbies events. So we most of us are going to be newbies. So I haven't been to another useR conference, even if you're not newbie in R. It's going to be the first conference for most of us, for many of us. But also there are going to be spaces, like social event spaces, where you can interact with people who haven't been to another conference. So it's not only a generic, yes, sure, go, and then nobody talks to you. It's yes, sure, go. There will be dedicated spaces where you can meet other newbies and you can meet other people, and you can just say, hey, and we want to encourage anyone who say, hey, to occupy the spaces and say, hey, I'm newbie here, I am from this place on earth, and so you can build community by participating. So yes, please feel free to come. You are going to see some very, very, very the top of the people who work in this, but not in an idealized way, like, oh, they are so good, I will never come back. It's on the contrary, it's going to be like everybody's together, and all the stages in career are welcome. We definitely want that.
Yeah, I think I might add that, when you're a newbie and you attend a conference, and it can be overwhelming, or you think, oh, this is too much for me, or I don't understand, or so you need to really hold on to the positive and be attracted to what the positive is and stick with that. So the communication, the meeting people, and let that be your anchor until you gain in your skills and strength, so that you feel a little bit more confident with what you're hearing and understanding. But by all means, don't be shy. Yeah.
Solo para agregar algo a Nayeli, voy a hablar en español. Yo tuve la experiencia de estar en RStudio Conference con una beca de diversidad, y tuve la misma percepción que tenía Nayeli, es decir, la misma pregunta de ¿podré yo participar en una conferencia tan grande como RStudio por ser nueva? Yo siempre me he considerado muy nueva en R, y en realidad lo que yo me imaginaba como barrera, que era el tratar con personas que saben más R que yo, lo vi desde el primer día vencido o derribada la barrera, porque las mismas personas que durante años yo había seguido en Twitter de la comunidad de R, que se veían tan afables, era igual verlas en persona, y estabas conversando sobre un tema que no, incluso puedes considerar que no lo dominas, y esa misma persona se une a ti a seguir conversando sobre el tema. Entonces, al igual como han dicho las otras RLadies, es un sí rotundo, que no es una barrera el que seas nueva o muy principiante en R, el que no puedas estar en una conferencia como el useR.
Yeah, I would just like to add, this year I attended the R Studio conference as a diversity scholar, and I had never been to any R conference till now. And it was a smooth ride. And I also could co-host a session with Janina as one of the speakers. So it was like, I was always part of it. I never felt like, okay, I'm somebody very new. So it was very smooth.
I would like to think that this is a very good thing, because when we make meetings between the organizing team, we all have this kind of feeling like, I have never been to an art conference. I never thought I would be, and now I am organizing it. And so we have internal conversations that are like, I don't like when conferences go this way or do this. I don't like feeling awkward in conferences. So this internal conversation happens a lot between us. And we are working so hard to make it like a non-awkward space for this kind of, like, we are very aware of the parts that we don't like a lot. And hopefully it's going to work, of course, but also the feedback is open. Like if you go and attend and something is, hey, this should be better, and what if we create a channel? You can have ideas, and then there's room for improvement always. So the fact that we're here is to say that the organizing team is also open to this kind of conversation. So hey, this is not working. So of course we hope this will not happen, but as organizers, we are not this kind of closed people too. Like we want this to be a very, very nice space for everyone.
A question, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
One of the things that's been tough since all the conferences have been virtual for the past year and a half, I think, has been the networking aspect. It's difficult to just sort of wander up to a group of folks and start up a conversation when you're all in a Zoom chat with 100 other people. Do you guys have any tips and tricks about how we can network better at a conference like useR?
I'm looking forward to hear the other panelists, because I'm terrible at this stuff.
Maybe for some people it's easier in a virtual setting, but I'm relatively extroverted, and so in real life it's not that hard for me.
We are testing a lot of platforms, so we can have a space where we can chat and be together. And the reason because we are testing so much is because we want this platform be as accessible. So we're not only looking for a good looking software that was like, oh, amazing. That's all I can move. I'm a circle. I have stars and that kind of stuff. But something that a lot of people can use, not only if you need technology for assistant, because you have some accessibility need, because if you have a low bandwidth internet and or you don't have the huge supercomputer, you can also be part of useR. So we are putting a lot of work and effort in that. And in the schedule, we also have social events and some break with yoga and that kind of stuff. So you can be there together with other people, and we wait that this friendly and relaxed environment can help you to try to chat and close to other people and talk. And we want to try to implement the Pac-Man rule that we see on in person. There is a group, you made a circle, and you always left an open space so people can join, and you don't feel that it's a closed stuff. So we can try to do something like that in the virtual space. And my advice is don't be shy. I know that it's easy to say and hard to do, but I don't know any people in the art community that is not going to answer you, to point you where you can go. And if they don't know, they're going to say, wait, I don't know, but we can ask to X or Y. And there is a willing to help and to share and to connect. And there is a people that like to talk a lot like me, and there is a people more quiet, but I think the chat helps with that a lot. Yeah, we can write the text better than perhaps speak up like that. And we expect that this platform and this space help to connect. And we also wait that when we have the talks, we can also share. We are going to have a live events. We are also going to have pre-recorded talks. So there is a mix. And we have this time zone friendly. So each day of the conference is going to be friendly for one part of the world. So you can be awake in some part of the conference and you are going to be asleep in other. But we try to be aware of that. Like the tutorials are split in the day, so the language of the time zone, also you don't have to take the tutorial at 3 a.m. in the morning. So we hope that all this helps to connect, and all the team will be there for help. You can ask for help to us, and we are going to be really happy to try to connect to the people that you need to know and you want to know beyond useR.
Thanks, Shani. I think that there's Carol
is raising her hand.
Okay, Carolina Moreno,
Hi.
please.
Yes. Hi. I'm Carol. I'm from Brazil. I'm virtual friends with Sara and Andrea. And I just I'm a journalist, so maybe I'm mostly beginner in R, but maybe I can help give some tips with shyness, especially enjoying the fact that we are going to be everybody in their own screens. I think one good tip is to ask a question. That's a great way to start a conversation. So ask a question about the person who said something, so they can tell a little bit more about themselves. And I think this is a good way to start networking. My job is to ask questions, so I don't have many problems finding questions to ask. I always have too many questions, but sometimes, you know, if you can just ask, oh, I thought something that you said was very interesting. Where can I find something to read about it? Do you have any book ideas? Or ask something else about their work with it. I think that's always going to bring a new topic, and then you can start from there. And I'm very excited to be part of useR. It's going to be my first time this year.
Thank you, Carol. There's a great idea here on the chat by Jonelle. She's suggesting for us to think about mentorship for newbies. And that's a super great idea. We can think of how to make this happen. And I would like to ask a question here, because we are in charge of the RLadies social event at useR. And we still don't know what we want to do with that space. And we would love to hear from the panelists and from the audience any ideas of what you would like at the RLadies social event at useR.
So I think in line with the questions that were just asked, it might help to have, I think we already have My First User, right? Heather or someone else had mentioned that that event is going to be there. But in addition to that, we could have at least one more that is encouraging new R users. So not just first time user conference attendees, but those who are new to R and kind of welcoming them into the community, showing them the ropes, telling them which are the communities out there, how to engage with them, how to reach out to them, what are the best practices, you know, with asking your first question, because that's one of the things all of us have faced at some point or the other. How do we not be afraid to post a question on Stack Overflow or GitHub issues without getting shouted down? So basically, how to navigate the, you know, it's like most parents have the babies firsts. So we can kind of put together a list of, as a new R user, what are the things that you learned and stumbled upon? And we can just kind of pass along our newfound wisdom to those who are doing it for the first time. So they don't have to make the same mistakes, sorry. So that might be helpful, I think, for first time R users.
I was just laughing a little bit because earlier you mentioned the yoga session as a breakout to relax and such, but I think it would be really nice to have some music or dancing too. You know, even if we could play some music, have a little session about, do you want to learn cumbia? Do you want to learn how to dance? You know, something, you know, it's just to unwind, just to hear music and have fun and laugh. It would be nice.
So just to tell you a couple of seconds, we're going to have this RLadies user event, but there are also going to be other social events. And there's Marcela, who is actually an RLadies from Costa Rica, but not only an RLadies from Costa Rica, and she's in charge of the events. And there's going to be mixers like with music, and she's in charge of the sessions with yoga. And the idea is that we all participate in everyone, like not only the RLadies, of course, but yes, we're going to have some social, more into happy hour mixed with music, something like that.
There will also be a trivia, so the quiz is already done.
And we are talking with the Africa users and MIR to MIR is going to have another community social event. So it's by them for their community, but also getting to know each other is part of it. And we are talking about maybe a multi-community event where we all talk about a little bit of the challenges, the experiences of different kinds of communities, not only RLadies. So this is on the way, and you're all very welcome.
Or do you think it might make sense to also have, since user is going to be multilingual, that can be another idea for a social gathering too. So people might be more comfortable in having a Spanish get together of our users, or I mean, not necessarily RLadies, because this might be their only chance of identifying with our users from rest of the world, but who are basically kind of speaking the same language. And that might also be nice.
We have talked about, when we talked about with Latinar, Janani is here, but there are other Latinar members. We were talking that Se Habla Español space would be nice, but also the fact that Latinar exists makes it nicer that you have already a community behind this idea that people speak Spanish. So Latinar would be our like Spanish speaking ambassador, not exclusive, and maybe a French spoken event with the Francophonie Europe and Africa users. That would be nice. And Portuñol is going to be always the and also the Latinar has this, is that it's not only se habla español, it's also for the Portuguese speaking brothers and sisters that can come. So the Latin American, you will have this kind of bias, but it's nice because it's a very cohesive community. But yes.
We need a space to speak Portuñol, so. Does anyone have another question? We have questions that we prepared, but they were all covered. So I would like to invite the panelists to say something as a goodbye, and then we'll just wrap up. Aditi had to leave because it was 3 a.m. for her, and it was amazing that she was here. But the others who are still here.
So I can probably just say a bit about the last question about having online meetups. I think with everything that's kind of going wrong with the pandemic, one of the silver linings has been that we are able to attend events from other chapters very easily. We are able to invite speakers from around the world also pretty easily. And the really nice thing is we have also co-organized a lot of events with other chapters in similar time zones. And it has given us an opportunity to learn more and kind of expand our participant base and speaker base. So I think for that, the online RLadies meetup, the current setup is actually kind of working very well. And we are seeing a lot of new faces, and not just people who are on campus at MSU who usually show up for the events. So I think that's been really nice. And the breakout rooms and making sure that even though it's virtual, how to keep with the times and make sure that they are learning something in a hands-on workshop. These have also been really helpful to us.
Yes, I think that at least we could, there's nothing good in a pandemic, but at least we could participate into meetings from, I went to Miami RLadies event, Buenos Aires, and all of these events that we couldn't participate if we're not doing things remotely. So, and also today we wouldn't, we probably could have the idea, but I think that our experiences with, are you seeing my screen? Even if we haven't learned that much, we are always learning. I think that our experiences having virtual events helped us organizing this meetup too. So this also having great. So Jonelle, Jocelyn, Zulemma, Haifa, Bea, those of you who are still there. Do you want to add something else?
Can I say something? I just want to thank to the opportunity to be here, to be invited, to participate at useR, and to meet a lot of new people from other chapters, and it was really inspiring being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Bea.
Yeah, same here. Thank you so much for organizing this meeting. And I think it's a really good idea to have a pre-meeting before the conference to start meeting each other and to have even more comfortable to speak or to have new conversations during the conference, because you know that you know more people before. Yeah, and as a shy person, I think that's very important. I think one thing that has been useful to me at the conference that I had the opportunity to attend was to have some friends that have been in the conference before, and they usually introduce me to new people. So answering a little this question about the networking, I think that's a very useful tool to have some friends that help you to break out the ice.
Jocelyn.
Creo que Ben Massoud va a hablar, ¿sí? Haifa, go ahead.
Yes.
Please.
I just want to say thank you, everyone. I learned a lot from all of you today. And it's a great opportunity for me to train myself for the useR conference, because we already submit a tutorial, and we will I think we will be the first to present in useR conference 2021. So I think also it's a great opportunity to me to enhance my self-confidence and speak publicly. Thank you, everyone, for this great meetup. Thank you.
Thank you, Haifa.
Okay. Quiero primero agradecer por que han tomado el tiempo las personas de estar en este espacio. Y lo otro es que, como bien se dijo, esta reunión es como un abrebocas del useR. Entonces, si se dan cuenta, durante toda la reunión yo he hablado en español y he recibido ayuda de Andrea y de otras personas para que quienes no hablan español me entiendan, ¿cierto? Entonces, esta es una muestra de lo que es el useR. Es una conferencia de usuarios para usuarios en cualquier lenguaje que está activamente ejecutándose la parte diversa y la parte inclusiva. Y adicionalmente, yo tengo un problema para poder hablar en público, pese a que soy profesora. Me da mucho nervio, incluso en mi propio idioma, pero estar con personas que esta conferencia, las conferencias que se hacen en la comunidad R, no son la típica conferencia tradicional en la que alguien está buscando saber más que alguien, sino que encuentras un espacio en donde eres acogido por personas que tienen interés de saber quién eres tú como persona y como usuario. ¿Okay? Entonces, por favor, una invitación abierta una vez más para encontrarnos en useR y practicar inglés y practicar portuñol y practicar español también. Un abrazo para todas.
Muchas gracias, Zulemma.
Maybe if people are shy to throw in their questions now, we can keep the document open for a few more hours or a few more days. So please feel free to come back and add your questions as you go through the website and try to register, or just drop us an email. That might be the best way to get our attention.
Yes, definitely. I will just finish with just a few more information that was already covered, but just to make it very clear. So thank you so much, Jonelle, Haifa, Aditi, Zulemma, Beatriz, Jocelyn, and Janani. This was better than we could imagine. And thank you so much for the audience. And as Janani suggested, I think that we can leave the document open and you can ask your questions there, or you can reach us through any by any means. So just remember, here's the registration link, and we want the conference to be accessible to everyone. So if you can afford it, help us, but if you can't, don't miss the opportunity of going because of that. We don't want that, and spread the word about it also. So there's the early bird registrations with better fees if you are paying for that. Just a reminder of the waivers, and if you're not listed as a low-income country, you can make a request. The event will be multilingual, so there will be tutorials in English, Spanish, French, and there will be subtitles for the main talks. And also something that happened this year, and it was super nice, is that people who are giving small talks can make the talk in any language if they provide the subtitles. So that's also, we hope that's also encourage people to be there. We are super concerned about accessibility. So if you need anything, let us know. There's a great team working with that. There will be activities in different time zones. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday will be, and Friday will be at different time zones. And be prepared to be attending to late things or super early things too, because everything sounds super great. We are super also inviting you to meet the other communities, MIR and AFCAR and LatinR, and be there for the RLadies social event. And there will be other social events as well, but we hope to see you all again, not only at the conference, but at the social event. So see you soon. Hasta luego, até logo, a bientôt. And thank you very much for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Looking
Thank you,
forward.
Sarah. Thank you,
Great
everyone.
to see you again.
Thank you.
Yes. Now we are even more excited for the conference.
Absolutely.